Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 with the 1000-week Reich mod. Now, I do want to apologize real quick before I hop in for taking so long to come back. School started really kicking my ass, and then I had to do school and work, because work started up around the time of finals time. And then, even when school finished up, work started kicking up. My work is very busy during the holiday season. And right as I was starting to get a bit of time, I came down with a horrible sickness, and my voice was not in condition to record anything. But my work schedule has mellowed out a little bit more. I'm still not 100% health-wise, but I'm about, I'll say 90% of the way there. And I figured it's about time for me to hop back in and get to recording once more. So, hope you all are doing well. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, and I enjoyed whichever holiday you happen to observe. And it is time once again to hop back into the wonderful world of HoI 4 modding. Now, there have been a lot of major updates since I was gone. TNO integrated with a deep freeze submod. I'm not playing that yet, mainly because that Antarctic GUI scares me. Reich is updated. Reich has some very interesting looking updates. I do want to play the new Russia. I also want to hop back to where I was playing the new Germany content, because I started that campaign and that just kind of petered out. I do feel bad. I want to hop back in at some point to get to it, but when was the last part of Germany campaign upload? Oh God, April. Yeah, I gotta get back to that. But right now, I have a new 1000-week Reich mod to 1000-week Reich update to check out. And I was playing 1000-week Reich right before I went on my hiatus. I wasn't really feeling that campaign. That didn't help my break. But I figured I'd hop back in, because I've been enjoying 1000-week Reich, and I've been playing it a lot. It's been able to keep my attention pretty well, and I haven't felt that with some of the other mods I've been playing, so I figured I'd give it a gander. But anyway, the new update has given us some content to the Union of South Africa. And so I figured we're going to go ahead and hop in and check it out. The Union of South Africa is facing a crossroads from its distance from London and the increasing presence of Boer nationalism. The continued rule for the pro-British United Party might be nearing its end. In addition to this struggle between supporters of the British Commonwealth and national independence, many minorities and the African majority are also organizing, growing more and more dissatisfied by the lack of meaningful democratic progress by the day. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead, select South Africa. Now, I've played South Africa before on the channel. When I played the base game, I did an achievement run. It was like Crusader Kings 2, where you had to take Jerusalem. That was pretty cool. And then I did a Kaiserreich update, a playthrough on the old Kaiserreich content for South Africa. And because there used to be a mandatory civil war, but not mandatory, common civil war, but I managed to play that and avoid it. So I figured, and I also did the TNO one, that's right, for the demo. So I've actually played South Africa a fair bit in my past forays into my gaming channel. So this is my first time around, so I figured we'll go ahead and give her a gander, see where we're at. So we're led by, and last time I tried to pronounce anything in South Africa, I won't say ratioed in the comments, but there was a commenter who was very, very passionate about my mispronunciations. I haven't seen him around in a while. He was on my ass on a fair few of those mispronunciations, actually, which I guess I can't necessarily blame him. So, needless to say, I barely speak English. I don't speak Afrikaans. I don't speak Zulu, Jola, any of those native languages to South Africa. So if I get any of these pronunciations wrong, I do apologize ahead of time. Never mind, let's check out what we're doing right now. So, we're led by the United Party, which is a coalition between the conservatives and liberals. The exact ideology we have is liberal conservatism, a political ideology combining conservative policies with liberal stances, especially on ethical and social issues. It incorporates the classical liberal view of minimal government intervention in the economy. However, it also believes that a strong state is necessary to ensure law and order and social institutions are needed to nurture a state sense of duty and responsibility to the nation, as well as to guarantee that traditions are respected. Well, there we are. We're in the Toronto core sphere of influence, and we are led by Jan Hendrik Hofmeyr. Jan Frederick Hendrik Hofmeyr, often nicknamed Yanni, is regarded as one of the leading lights of a liberal South Africa. Born in 1894 to a well-known Afrikaner family, his uncle of the same name was a politician of the British Cape Colony. Hofmeyr's father passed away in 1997, and he was left to be raised by his mother, whom he has remained close to throughout his life. Hofmeyr went on to have distinguished education, entering the prestigious South African college schools in 1902, going on to study classics at the University of Cape Town. In 1913, he would go on to study classics again at Oxford, continuing his studies through the course of the Great War. Soon after his return to South Africa, he would go on to become a lecturer at his alma mater, where his skills as an orator would soon gain distinction. Hofmeyr's politics were clear at this stage, not caught up in the rising tide of the Afrikaner nationalism. He saw no difference in race or wealth and urged against any such discrimination from the most esteemed universities. Despite this, he remained hesitant to enter party politics until 28. Elected to Parliament in 1929 as part of the South African Party. Excuse me. Hofmeyr would soon rise the ranks, placing an important role in politics. He would help negotiate the party's merger that would create the United Party, the party he'd soon lead. Hofmeyr made himself known in the new coalition government, protesting against discriminatory legislation, so much that the press speculated that he would form a new liberal party. Nevertheless, Hofmeyr remained committed to, as South Africa joined the disastrous war in Europe, would go on to become Prime Minister after the downfall of J.B.M. Hertzog and Jan Smuts. Since then, the United Party have maintained power by a thread, barely winning the 1948 election. Privately, the stress of constant parliamentary deadlock is catching up with him, being plagued with new health issues. And yet, colleagues say Hofmeyr remains undeterred, never abandoning his values, even when one looks like the day is lost. Well, that's inspirational. So, you have a choice between the United Party and the National Party. There's also South African Labour Party, which has some power. The ANC, which doesn't have any power at the start, but it does have Nelson Mandela leading the Revolutionary Communist Party. Shout out Mr. Mandela. So we have a couple trade focuses to begin with. First, we have the Commonwealth of Nations. The Commonwealth of Nations is an organization which consists of Britain, her current and former colonies, and nations with close ties to Britain. This organization is a platform which members benefit from economic, military, and social cooperation with one another, while maintaining closer ties than normal diplomatic relationships. Interesting. Next up, we have racial discrimination. The black population of South Africa, despite being the majority of the Union, is discriminated by the government and the white population, who hold most of the land and wealth in the country. From there, we have Afrikaner nationalism. The Boer population of South Africa can be fiercely nationalistic at times, due to them perceiving the Afrikaner culture as being under constant threat from both the Anglo-colonial authorities and the colored population. And then we have the Accord sphere, which is just what's like in the Accord. So our cabinet, we have Jacobus Nel Strauss. The consumer goods is okay. I guess that makes it political power. Jan Hendrik Hofmeyr. That doesn't matter too much, really. Henry Lawrence. Pretty good all around, honestly. And then Sidney Frank Watterson. too much. So we've got volunteer only, export focus, civilian economy, facade democracy, semi-industrial economy, and coal primacy. Interesting. So it looks like this is probably the worst one. We can't really change that right now. So, it is what it is. Okay. So let's take a gander at our little focuses. Let's do the upcoming election. Despite being a year away, the next nationwide election is already being increasingly talked about. What is this, America? The position of incumbent Prime Minister Jan Hendrik Hofmeyr and his Reformers United Party government is weakening, as is the health of the Prime Minister itself. The National Party, under longtime Afrikaner nationalist leader D.F. Milan, is making strong progress and seems poised to seize power and bring radical change. The vultures are already circling, and the United Party must already begin thinking about how best to fight this uphill campaign and maintain government. Well, let's get to it. Ooh, hold up before I unpause fully. Get some long stroke pistons. And then, we're really struggling a lot of this. Let's do the construction one. Honestly, I'm gonna go back. We'll go for the tech research speed instead. Let's see how we're doing industrially. I can already tell. Not too hot. Let's build in Western Cape for now. Just get some extra city factories there. Yeah, we have nothing in some of these places. Yeah, our industry is terrible. My God. I'll work on assigning some of this stuff out real quick. We'll get artillery out, and then do some support equipment as well. How are we doing with supply? We could be doing better. Could be doing worse as well. Yeah, okay. Port Elizabeth. There's some stuff there, it looks like. But not much. Cape Town's our most developed province, it looks like. Pretoria isn't too far behind. I think. Actually, I have more population there, but we have more. Actually, no, this has a little bit more factories. I take it back. And then Namibia, we don't even have cores on this. So, okay. All good to get. It's good to get that all figured out and ascertained now. So, army group. We'll go. Okay. Let's get Hendrik Klopper in charge, and then can't promote a field marshal yet, so we'll just have to hold on command power. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and check out what we have with our events. We have the elections here, as well as status on the United Party. With the National Party steadily increasing in strength, combined with a particularly lackluster United Party administration, many expect the 53 elections to be a National Party landslide. However, in spite of this growing nihilism in the United Party, a few star politicians and their staffers might be able to mount a successful campaign that could preserve the United Party majority. So, National Party support is at 40%. UP support is 47%. And then the OB, which I'm guessing those are some sort of war nationalists. Yeah, the also Bradvag. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but it was worth a shot. And then the South Africa Labour Party is at 4%. Okay. So, listen, these both are autocracies, and then 15% chance is either these guys or these guys will gain popularity. Okay. Okay. This is making some sense to me. Let's check out the United Party. The United Party was formed by a merger of most of former Prime Minister Barry Herzog's National Party cabinet, with the rival South African Party of Jan Smuts, plus the remnants of the Unionist Party. Oh, my head's unplugged. I need to find the hole. There we are. Herzog refused to commit to the war effort in Europe in 1939. Unlike Herzog, the majority of the party were of different mind, and Herzog resigned, Jan Smuts being his replacement, in which he led the party through the Anglo-German War that ended shortly after South Africa entered the war. In 1948, the party barely won the election against the oppositional National Party, and later Jan Smuts was succeeded by his deputy, Jan Hendrik Hofmeyr, soon afterwards. The party split between the moderate and liberal wings. The moderate wing seeks to maintain the status quo that has been built up over the years, while the liberal wing brings the racial tensions to question with hopes that black South Africans will be able to share power with the white minority. Okay. So we have the moderate wing. While the moderates agree with liberal ideas in principle, those members pride themselves in being more grounded when it comes to the reality of the South African electorate. This means that while in principle they strongly disagree with the practices of racial discrimination and other rights violations, they are more than willing to turn a blind eye or take a passive stance in order to not alienate the electorate. Other than that, the moderates generally interpret United Party's liberalism in the more literal, classical sense. They're led by D.P. de Villiers Graaff. I'm gonna refrain from making any TNO jokes from here on. De Villiers Graaff, also known as Div Graaff, is an aristocrat, a war hero, a nobleman that is fighting for the rights of the colored and common man. Born in Cape Town to a cold storage magnate and later first Baron de Villiers Graaff, he went to a prestigious school and later went to law school. At the outbreak of the European War, Graaff joined the Union Defense Force and briefly served in North Africa. In spite of his tour of duty, Graaff still gained himself quite a reputation. Thanks to his background and his personal charisma, he was elected to the House of Assembly as a United Party member in 1948, in which he would oppose every attempt from the Nationals to impose their so-called apartheid experiment onto South Africa. However, unlike some of his colleagues, Graaff is known to be more flexible in policy positions, making him a more agreeable politician within the United Party. Now, this is contrasted from the Liberals. The Liberal wing of the United Party is dominated by the highly educated white Anglo-South African members. Liberal members of the United Party are generally regarded as more idealistic when it comes to the many pressing social issues of South Africa. In particular, they are extremely vocal on the issue of protecting the civil liberties and the rights of minorities, in line with their interpretation of the United Party being that of a progressive liberal party. Sorry about that. Next up, it brings us to the leader of the Liberals, or Liberal faction rather, and Harry Lawrence, a senior party member and having served in the cabinet of late Prime Minister Jan Smuts. Harry Lawrence is both a prestigious and committed member of the United Party's Liberal coalition. Due to this unique advantage, Lawrence is often treated as the unspoken leader of the party's Liberals, having incredible influence on pushing forward the party's more liberal agendas. Alright. I'm guessing we're going to have to be choosing between one of these two guys, which we'll probably be okay with. From my understanding, I think the Ashes paths have not been fully programmed in yet. So I think the main choice is between the UP and the NP. I usually like to keep these things vague, but I'm going to be honest. This scares me monetization-wise, as well as a little bit morally. So I'm probably going to go with the UP. But that's alright. I think I'm ready to play. Oh, here we go. South African 52. The Union of South Africa is facing a crossroads. A dominion within the British Commonwealth, South Africa wields more influence than many have expected. The mostly pro-British United Party have now held power by a thread under the leadership of Jan Smuts and now Jan Hofmeyr. The disaster of the Anglo-German War and the close results of subsequent 43 and 48 elections, it's clear the general mood is changing in the South. Particularly amongst the Afrikaner population, there's a growing resentment against the British. Many Afrikaner leaders see South Africa's dominion status is a mere relic of the imperialist days of the past. Prime Minister Hofmeyr, an Afrikaner himself, continues, however, to stress the need of both parties to come together against the forces of division, channeling his famed namesake uncle. Whether his words shall be heeded remains to be seen. However, with the rise of Germany, many Afrikaner forces are seeing a new ally in their struggle against the British. Others, however, stress the need to go alone in the fight. The wounds from 1836 still live on. As times change, another force rises. The African natives, hardly a new force, have proved to be a thorn in the side of both the Anglo-Africans and the Boer. A country with a history of racial tension, could this union last any longer? In a new, unpredictable era of politics, the steps South Africa takes as a nation can prove to be crucial to Africa and the world. Ex unite virus. Hey, that's the name of the update. Alright, here we go. China leaves northern Vietnam. It's only been a couple minutes since we started, and we're already, we might be able to make it through a full month. I'm clearly off my game. I usually don't even on pause during the first part, but hey, that's just how it's going. How's the GDP looking right now? We are 29th. Not massively shocked there. Yeah, Here goes Georgie. Don't think I noticed anything new, at least in this update, map-wise. Columbia was split before. Okay, ooh, we have a choice coming up here. The United Party's campaign is facing a question. Led by the liberal Jan Hendrik Hofmeyr, they hope to be re-elected yet again. Now, the Prime Minister is facing some serious questions in regards to his health. Not too much is known, though the Prime Minister has faced some health concerns in recent years and has indicated he'll be retiring not long after the election. With this in mind, the Prime Minister must make a decision on how he'll be dedicating himself to the election campaign. In his current condition, doctors advise that he must take time off in order to improve his health. Yet Hofmeyr would miss most of the campaign in doing so. Many close to the Prime Minister fear this could very well cost him and his party the election, though many may prefer a healthy leader. While the UP wants to avoid having a campaign focus on the PM's health, it may be inevitable regardless, while opponents have naturally called for Hofmeyr to stand down as leader. With the election drawing near, the choice will have to be made. The Prime Minister will campaign whenever and wherever he can. Here we go. So we can do a party campaign. Yeah, let's get going on that. We also have the border wars. Interesting. Our country's frontier sectors, especially Southwest Africa, there are many potential sources of unrest that might jeopardize the stability of our nation. Therefore, the South African government is also responsible for the formation of security strategies and local policies as responses to these threats. I won't do anything too dramatic as of now. We will leave it there. Well, we have a couple different options here. Interesting. Let's see. Let's do... I don't think it matters too much. Let's do Jansmoets Airport. The Jansmoets Airport will serve as the main aviation transport of Johannesburg and Pretoria. To commemorate the opening of this important construction project, the Prime Minister should share a few words at a simple ceremony. Why not? Got new mechanical computing devices. Let's get some computing machines on top of it. Spanish-Moroccan conflict. The Narvik uprising. We'll see what ends up happening. Ooh. The National Party is a relatively new force on the South African political stage, led by DF Milan. The parties emerged out of the electoral alliance with a smaller Afrikaner party and Milan's former Purified National Party. Now they're ready to take power and put an end to Hofmeier's degrading of Afrikaner society. The National Party campaign has very much been focused on the question of racial integration, emphasizing the need to preserve Afrikaner heritage. However, for many Afrikaners, this isn't enough. Many Afrikaner nationalists are rejecting Milan and the nationalists and instead turning to the boycott campaign of the radical pro-German Usawabradenwag. Many are in the belief that the National Party cannot and will not deliver true change to South Africa to benefit the cause of the Afrikaner. Others are concerned that with Milan's age, he may not occupy the office of PM for long in the event of victory. Milan would be the oldest person to be appointed PM at age 79. Despite this, the National Party have been seeing a surge of support since the narrow victory of 48. Will he finally be able to pull off a victory? We'll have to wait and see. They have the popularity for it. Here goes the A-bomb. And we'll keep campaigning. Belgium declared a republic. Okay. As the final aspects of the Jansmoets airport are completed, an opening ceremony marking the occasion was held near the entrance of this new international airport. Prime Minister Hofmeier was also invited to hold a speech to celebrate the opening of the international airport. While a few simple words might be more than enough for such an event, it is election season. Maybe the PM should take this opportunity to grab some headlines. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I don't want to well, this would weaken the Conservatives as well as a thing. I think brief words shall be enough. That takes from a little bit of everyone. Let's do look to domestic policy. Actually, let's do the question of economy. Economic policy has not been at the center of South African politics or its own, but it's tied closely to debates around race relations. Significant dissatisfaction is built up against the economic policies of our government, particularly when it comes to wartime rationing and targeting racial policies, the increased labor mobility of black South Africans. How this debate goes will certainly affect some key voters, such as farmers. Let's see how we end up doing. Oh, look at that. Norwegian Revolution. Friends of a channel. The Resistance Council. I'm guessing they haven't got anything. No, they haven't. It's the same old focus. Okay, well, we got this. On the 6th of April, 1652, Jan van Riebeck arrived at the Table Bay, founding Cape Town for the Dutch and becoming the first commander of the colony. 300 years on, we were holding a festival to commemorate this event with pride. The festival was officially opened by PM Hofmeier, who proceeded to give a speech on the founding and the need to look to the future as well as reflecting on the past. The festival was also attended by National Party leader D.F. Milan, who gave his own words on the dates significant in Afrikaner history. As we celebrate, we do indeed look to the future. With one of the most crucial elections in our history coming soon, who knows what path we shall take by the time the next anniversary is here. God bless South Africa. Special military operation. Spanish win in North Africa. Okay. Interesting. Keep working on research speed stuff. Congolese independence is interesting. Okay. Well, there's not much I can do now.
other than end the video here, because that's all the time we have left, my friends. Thank you guys for watching, however. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content, feature hit the sub button for uploads weekdays, as well as occasionally Saturdays. If you have any comments, feedback, or concerns, leave in the comment section below. I do read all the comments I get, and I appreciate any feedback out for me. Hit the sub button for notification bell to keep up to date with these uploads as they come out. And check out my various links down in the description box below. My name has been Mr. Dogboat333. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye now.